2 Chronicles chapter 32. After these things, and this faithfulness, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came to Judah and encamped against the fortified cities, thinking to capture them. And when Hezekiah saw that Sennacherib came, and that his purpose was to make war against Jerusalem, he consulted with his leaders and commanders to stop the water from the springs outside the city, and they helped him. And he gathered many people, and they stopped the waters of the springs and the river that ran through the city, saying, "Let not the king of Assyria come and find a lot of water and prevail." And Hezekiah strengthened himself and built up all the wall that was broken, raised it up to the towers, and built another wall outside. He also repaired the fortress of the city of David and made many weapons. Then he set military captains over the people, gathered them to him in the open square of the valley gate, and encouraged them, saying, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid of the king of Assyria, nor before all the nation with him. For there are more with us than with him. With him are arms of flesh, but with us is the Lord our God, to save us and to fight our battles." And the people were strengthened by the words of Hezekiah, king of Judah. Sennacherib, king of Assyria, sent his servants to Jerusalem, while he and all the forces with him laid siege against Lachish, to Hezekiah, king of Judah, and to all Judah who were in Jerusalem, saying, "Thus says Sennacherib, king of Assyria, in what do you trust, that you continue under siege in Jerusalem? Does not Hezekiah deceive you to give yourselves over to die by famine and by thirst, saying, 'The Lord our God will deliver us from the hand of the king of Assyria'? Did not the same Hezekiah take away the altars and the high places, and command Judah and Jerusalem, saying, 'You shall worship before one altar and burn incense on it'? Do you not know what my fathers and I did to all the peoples of other lands? Were the gods of the nations of those lands able to deliver their lands from my hand? Who among all the gods of those nations my fathers utterly destroyed could deliver his people from my hand, that your God will be able to deliver you from my hand? Now therefore do not let Hezekiah deceive you or persuade you like this. Do not believe him. For no God of any nation or kingdom was able to deliver his people from my hand or the hand of my fathers. How much less will your God deliver you from my hand?" Furthermore, Sennacherib's servant spoke against the Lord and his servant Hezekiah. He also wrote a letter to revile the Lord God of Israel, and spoke against him, saying, "As the gods of the nations of other lands did not deliver their people from my hand, so the God of Hezekiah will not deliver his people from my hand." And they called out with a loud voice in Hebrew to the people of Jerusalem on the wall, to frighten them and trouble them, so that they might take the city. And they spoke against the God of Jerusalem as against the gods of the people of the earth and the work of men's hands. And King Hezekiah and the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amoz, prayed about this and cried out to heaven. And the Lord sent an angel who cut down every mighty man of valor and leader and captain in the camp of the king of Assyria. So he returned shamefaced to his land. And he went into the temple of his God, where some of his own offspring struck him down with the sword. Thus the Lord saved Hezekiah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem from the hand of Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, and from the hand of all others. He gave them rest on every side, and many brought gifts to the Lord at Jerusalem and presents to Hezekiah, king of Judah. So afterwards he was exalted in the sight of all nations. In those days Hezekiah was sick and near death, and he prayed to the Lord. And And the Lord heard him and gave him a sign. But Hezekiah did not repay the favor shown him, but exalted his own heart, and his anger came upon him and upon Judah and Jerusalem. Hezekiah was humbled because of his exalted heart, he and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. But the wrath of the Lord did not come upon them in the days of Hezekiah. Hezekiah had very great riches and honor, and he made himself treasuries for silver, for gold, for precious stones, for spices, for shields, and for all kinds of desirable items, and cities for the harvest of grain, olive oil, and wine, and stalls for all kinds of livestock, and folds for flocks. And he built cities for himself, and he possessed flocks and herds in abundance. For God had given him a great deal of property. This same Hezekiah also stopped the water outlet of Upper Gihon, and brought the water by a tunnel to the west side of the city of David. Hezekiah prospered in all his works. However, regarding the ambassadors of the princes of Babylon, whom Babylon sent to him to inquire about the wonder done in the land, God withdrew from Hezekiah in order to test him and know what was in his heart. Now the rest of the acts of Hezekiah and his mercy, indeed, they are written in the prophecy of Isaiah, the prophet, the son of Amoz, and in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. So Hezekiah rested with his fathers, and they buried him in the upper tombs of the sons of David. And all Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem honored him at his death. Then Manasseh, his son, reigned in his place.